All right. How are you this evening, sir? Fantastic. On the phone with me, I have Dawand Jones. As I said, if you're just joining, I've got Dawand Jones, offensive tackle from The Ohio State University. Dawand, I was just telling TikTok on I've known you since middle school, and it's been a lot of fun. I feel grateful on watching you develop into the athlete that you are today, and seeing your name in headlines and whatnot. But for those that don't know Dawand or that haven't seen him yet, and Dawand, step in here and correct me if I'm wrong on all of these. You're 6'8", 375 pounds. Is that a current weight?
No, I'm actually 365, man.
365. All right. So he's shed 10 pounds. Arm length 36 and 5/8 inches. Wingspan 89 and 4/8. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's all correct.
All right. And for those that are watching at home, this next stat I'm using a prop, and Dawand, I have a ruler in my hand, and right now, and this is because of your hands. Your hands. I legit have a ruler in my hand. I know you can't see, but I have a ruler in my hand. So Dawand's hands are 11 and 3/8 inches. So for those that are counting, and I'm putting it up next to my head, that is from the tip of my index finger here to the tip of my other index finger. That is the size of Dawand's hands. And I remember when you were first going in, I read a piece right before your freshman year of college that said if you were to have been in the National Football League, and what year, I can't remember what year that was, but you would have had the second largest hands in the National Football League.
That was my freshman year, 2018.
Yes, 2018.
I remember that article.
Yep. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, I also remember reading an article at that point, going into your freshman year, that the 79 jersey, the Dawand Jones jersey at The Ohio State University was the largest jersey that Nike had made. Was that correct?
Yeah, I was pretty bigger at the time, so they had to start making it a little bit stretchier, a little bit longer.
Right. But that's, and those are just real. I mean, if you've got to be known for something, that's one thing. Those are some amazing stats, Dawand. And I was telling everyone how much fun it's been just to know you, and to know what kind of person you are, because, a lot of people, you see athletes on TV, especially at the collegiate level or going into the pros, and you hear other stories about their personality or who they are. I've told everyone, I can attest that your heart a lot of times is as big as your body. So, and I think that's amazing. So Dawand, I want to go in a little bit, if you don't mind, into some of your awards this year. So Pro Football Focus named you. You were first team All-American, correct? First team All-American. First team Big Ten. These are huge awards, and I can go all the way into your junior, sophomore, even freshman year. So tell me, being a true senior, you have 2 years of eligibility left, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What did you coming into college, getting a lot of the offers that you had? Did you always plan to, this is what you were going to play 4 years and be done, or did you ever plan on redshirting a year or not?
Well, I only got 1 year left. Well, I would have had 1 year left because of COVID, but I didn't redshirt, so that's why.
Oh, okay.
You think you are as a freshman,
right?
You know what I mean? Once you follow the process and people start trusting you, stuff like that, it just goes different ways, honestly.
That is awesome. And for those that don't know, Dawand is from right here in Indianapolis, the pride of the West Side. He attended Ben Davis High School here in Indy, where I have my 2017 Ben Davis football undefeated championship ring out here. But a lot of people don't know that you are not just were, but are a basketball star. I know that was your love, right?
Yes, sir.
Was basketball always your primary love and focus?
Basketball, yes, sir.
Yeah, was that going back towards when you're in elementary school, middle school? Have you always had that passion and love for basketball?
Yes, sir. For the most part, I really didn't play. I played football my whole life, but I played on the defensive side of the ball. I didn't really get to the offensive side. I played it a little bit both sides, but I didn't really play all offense until like 7th to 8th grade. So that's like when I was football there.
And I watched you. I talked about this earlier. I watched the offers for college come in, and I watched them come in for basketball and watched them come in for football. What was really, when you were in high school, and I think back to when I was in high school, and I didn't know what I was doing tomorrow, let alone with the next 4 or 5 years of my life. What really drove you to choose football over basketball in your life's path here?
I kind of like waited out everything, and I was like, the best option for me to make sure my longevity and just make sure I have a better chance in just in life. I feel like was definitely taking the football route. I eventually ended up loving both. Loving both, but I eventually everybody knew I love basketball a little bit more than football, but I eventually
absolutely, man. And so I saw, and you were offered D1 offers from multiple schools, from I believe Clemson to Florida, just to name a few. Why did you settle, or not settle, but why did you decide on Ohio State? What was your deciding factor there?
Ohio State, it's the brotherhood for me. I come from where it was like a big brotherhood at Ohio State, but Ben Davis.
Right.
And so I think any school I went to, I feel like it had to have that same type of living and brotherhood, honestly.
Right. That is really cool. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit, and not just about football, but some life as well. And I know you've played sports. You've been an athlete the majority of your life. And I know personally, I've seen the different people that have been, mentors to you or whatnot. Especially coaches, and you've had some Indiana Hall of Fame level football coaches and basketball coaches for that matter, just at Ben Davis alone, from Mike Kirshner to Jason Simmons and whatnot. Who and not to paint you into a corner here, but who would be aside from your mother, I know, who would be the most influential person, whether it be a coach or not, that you would say molded you or guided you during this journey and this path that you're on to get you where you are today?
I would say high school for the most part, Coach Simmons. He kind of made me tough. Just put me through a lot my senior year. Just trying to get me ready for the next level. Knowing that, Coach Kirshner, he really paid attention. He did for the most part. But it really was Coach Simmons because it was his team senior year. Kirshner was kind of like worried about the senior that year. He just left, so it's a bunch of stuff that came into it.
That's awesome. And speaking of Coach Jason Simmons, I was able to speak to him, and I, as I've kept in touch with you since I left Ben Davis, I've kept in touch with Coach Simmons, and I told him that you and I were going to talk, and I asked him just for a few things, what he thinks of, or what he thinks about, what comes to mind when he thinks about you. And for those that are just joining, we're on the phone with Dawand Jones, offensive tackle from the Ohio State University. But going back to Coach Simmons, he says Dawand's in a company all of his own when you look at his physical gifts and his personality. He said few people have the ability to light up a room and physically dominate like Dawand does. He said he has a personality that truly lights up a room. Our younger two kids call him the big teddy bear because he's magic with young people despise his size. He said he also has the length and the sheer size to be successful. Now, is that kind of how your personality's always been? And I hear that, and I've heard you referenced, and I'm sure you've heard this more than once in your life, in a reference to The Blind Side. I've heard...
Yeah, for the most part, I get that a lot, you know. But I got to turn it off, you know, off the field, you know, make sure people love it and care and stuff like that. And then on the field, you know, you got to make sure everybody know you're the big grizzly bear, and if you feel it, nobody wants to see you.
Big Thanos, right?
Yeah.
So, and speaking of Big Thanos, where did that nickname come from? Who gave you that moniker?
Actually, that was our liaison that took care of us our freshman year, that took care of us stuff like that and make sure we're okay. His name was Coach Ryan Stamper, went to Florida, and so yeah, he came up with it. You know, the movie just that came out around that time and stuff. And then he was like, you know, you block people, you know, you make them disappear. So, you know, they don't snap their fingers. It was kind of like how I block people.
And that is absolutely awesome and true on the same right. Well, Dawand, I won't keep you too much longer. I did want to ask you. I know you're right on the heels of coming back from Senior Bowl. How was that experience?
It was good, honestly. You know, I got a little banged up on Tuesday, and I didn't get to do all the stuff everybody else did the rest of the week. But for the most part, the experience was pretty well.
And I tell you what, everything that I've read, you know, Dawand Jones is making a big impression literally at the Senior Bowl. And I did see a tweet regarding, you know, the impression. I believe it was from the Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. He was up front and center with some high praise for you after a rep against during the run block drill with Andre Carter. Did you get much time to talk to any coaches or anybody else while you were out there, or was it a business trip?
Yeah, I mean, it was a business trip. We all talked to all 32 teams, so I feel like that was another part and aspect that I like that they provided for the Senior Bowl. Like it was kind of mandatory that they all talked with us, like every single team.
Really, that is really cool. So I've got a couple of questions coming in the comments, if you don't mind taking a couple real quick. One was, you know, we know we've got the NFL draft coming up. You know, people have talked about seeing you in mock drafts and you know, having you all over the board. You know, a lot of people are saying you're going in the first round. Some say second round, whatnot. With that being said, do you have plans on attending the draft?
Honestly, until I get invited, I won't know. But I've been thinking about it if I get invited. So it'll be a great pleasure. I just honestly don't know. I've still been thinking about it, talking with my parents and stuff like that. Right.
Well, that's fantastic. So, and the other thing that we wanted to know is, I'm sure you know, and you and I have talked about this in the past a little bit. Did you have a favorite team growing up? Were you a fan living here in Indy? Were you a Colts fan, or you know, were you a Bears fan or a fan of some other team?
I would say for the most part, a little bit. You know what I mean? I like the Colts, but you know, they kind of like went downhill.
Oh, I'm aware.
So, I mean, I would say like I'm in between. Like I like the Packers and Colts. Like you know what I mean? Like when the Colts is like, I'm not gonna hate on the Colts. You know what I mean?
Right. That's our home team, man. You can't hate on the Colts.
I always keep it real with my friends that like them. I'd be like, you know,
well, they got to represent Nat, but they've been on the struggle bus, man. I'm telling you what. That's what people are like. You think the Colts will get him? I'm like, honestly, as much as I would love to see you, and it would be great to be able to go to a game every Sunday, you know, to go watch you. I'm hoping you get to be a little farther away from Indy, just so you you know, have that opportunity to spread your wings and fly on your own. That's so. The draft is a maybe on whether you attend or not. Do you know how that works? You know, I'm just a lonely old school resource officer. You know, never been elbow deep in something like this. Do they actually reach out to you and invite you for a spot there? Do you just attend? Do you know anything of how that works?
Honestly, I haven't talked to nobody honestly about
right.
that. I know that maybe after the combine I might know. So, but I really ain't got no extra info.
Right. Okay. And that brings up the last questions I had for you was regarding the combine. I know that you'll be at the combine here in Indianapolis. With that being, you know, in your backyard per se, here downtown at Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indy, Do you think that poses a distraction at all for what you're looking to achieve going into the week of the combine?
No, not at all. I think it's more motivating being in your hometown. Honestly, you played there, you've done a bunch of stuff there, whether winning a state championship or winning a Big Ten championship twice.
That's right.
Like a prestigious place. So I think it's a major thing of like showing up to perform. So I wouldn't think it's a distraction.
Absolutely. And he brings up good points. State championships, 2 Big Ten championships in that building. Let's make some more magic happen at Lucas Oil Stadium. What do you say?
Yeah, I think that's one of my major things to make sure everybody know that Dawand Jones came to put on for the city.
That's right, and that's what I'm talking about. Dawand represents Nap without a doubt. So Dawand, personally, I can't tell you enough how proud I am to watch your success and to watch it from afar. And your story is nowhere near close to being done. I know I'm excited to watch this next chapter of your life, and I'm so excited. There's a lot of us cheering you on, and I know there's the entire city of Indianapolis, especially the west side, is cheering you on and watching your every move. So Dawand Jones, thank you so much for taking the time to come talk some lifelong football on the live. Please don't forget us. Whenever, when you go in the first round and you're making, big time in the NFL, please come back and talk to us again sometime if you would.
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right. Dawand Jones, everybody. Dawand, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Be safe.
Yes, sir.
Dawand Jones.